Well, it seems the billing chaos is likely to become a lawsuit flood, but let's hope that the problems get sorted out soon. Coming up, a baby elephant receives life-saving love and care in KwaZulu-Natal. With the debate on the culling of elephants still raging on around the world, a 2-week-old baby elephant's life was saved in KwaZulu-Natal. With a little bit of human love and care, the baby's life is being restored.
She's Parisian, sophisticated, and a cordon bleu chef. But 17 years ago, Francois Melby gave up her European life and came to Africa to follow a man.
Gee, you want something, my darling?
2 weeks ago, she became an unexpected mother to a baby they've called Thula.
And that's the end of the salad, eh?
Okay, that's good. You like some olive oil? What do you think?
In April this year, Carte Blanche introduced you to her husband, Lawrence Anthony. He has an extraordinary ability to communicate with a wild herd of elephants on their reserve in KwaZulu-Natal. For presenter Devi, Numzan was a little too close for comfort.
Gentle Numzan brushed his trunk against the window,
Numzan, no.
breaking it instantly.
This week we were back. One of Numzan's offspring was in trouble. Lawrence is no stranger to animals in distress. When war broke out in Iraq, he funded himself to look after the animals at the Baghdad Zoo. But 2 weeks ago, drama unfolded closer to home, and he watched for 36 hours as his beloved herd tried to save a newborn from death.
The mother was there, and the matriarch of the herd and the aunts were all around trying to make it stand up, lifting it with their feet and then putting their trunks underneath. But every time it stood up, it fell over again. They'd failed, and they tried again and again. They must have tried, I don't know, 60 times, maybe more.
That day he watched in awe as the herd rallied around.
It was absolutely amazing. It was a very, very hot day. And the matriarch particularly would position her body between the elephant baby and the sun. And as the sun moved through the sky, she would move with it. And she would be replaced by others, and they would always keep their bodies between the sun and the baby to keep it in the shade.
Eventually, the herd abandoned the dying baby. Only the mother remained. Now, it was hardly likely that a man who'd spent 6 months saving animals in a war zone would turn and walk away. So Lawrence made a plan.
It was a bit of a cowboy plan, that's right.
Is it standing by?
I mean, I got some food and put it on the back of the bakkie, and the idea was I would reverse up to her and see if I could entice her away from the baby a little bit.
Then he would get his 2 young rangers to steal her away. There was only one problem. The mother wasn't called E.T. for nothing. Enfant terrible repeatedly charges everybody. Now they were going to abduct her baby.
Let's go.
Scary stuff, it was. The adrenaline was going big time, you know. We lifted her right off the ground and loaded her. And if we try that now, we wouldn't be able to do it, no.
She was unconscious, dehydrated, and barely alive. Later they discovered that her back legs had been squashed in the womb. She could neither stand nor walk.
You know, I looked at her, I didn't think she was going to make it another couple of hours, I must tell you. We actually had a meeting, and I said, guys, we're not going to do this on the basis of let's try our best and see what will happen. We cemented a decision. She's going to make it, and we're going to do whatever is necessary to ensure that she makes it.
But that decision requires 24-hour vigilance. So they moved her to the recently refurbished guest bedroom, where 4 male minders have turned into doting mothers. And lulling a baby elephant to sleep requires as much patience as any other infant.
It's just brought out the big baby in all of them. These tough rangers are squirting milk onto their wrists to see if the temperature is right and arguing about temperature of milk. And they've turned into mothers. It's very funny.
She's got a yeast growth on her tongue that stops her from drinking. It's a bit of an irritant. And she normally performs, but she's doing all right at the moment. Same as what happens with babies. Human babies.
Stand in front of her, G.
Lawrence and Francois are still working on her manners, but in 2 weeks she's learned to walk, stand, and drink with her trunk. But some conservationists wouldn't agree with Lawrence's approach, believing that the weak should be left to nature's tough hand.
I don't agree with that, I must tell you. You know, we have game reserves all over the world where people have interfered in nature already.
There we go.
And what I don't agree with is this concept that we have where there's man and nature. And we as man are interfering in nature. I mean, you know, I'm a naturalist. Am I not part of nature?
Yes, my beautiful. Yes, my baby.
And nature was tugging Thula towards death's door when we arrived. She wasn't drinking nearly enough, and she was weak.
Her liquid intake and her food intake has dropped by 75% at the moment. So she's getting 25% of what she should be getting. So we are very, very on the alert at the moment, and every 200 mils she drinks at the moment is important.
But love and vigilance pulled her back.
Yes. We're in a good mood this morning, baby.
By morning, she was testing her newfound strength on Johnny. Her ears are still damaged from sunburn, but the wound she sustained from being dropped over and over is healing.
And she's a real survivor, this one. She's fantastic.
Lawrence has abandoned his wish to reintroduce Thula to the herd. Not because she's stolen their hearts away, but her mother stopped lactating, and Thula wouldn't keep up with them. 2 years from now, he plans to reunite her. But for now, he's building her new quarters with ablutions.
I'm going to teach her to flush herself. She's very clever. She's much cleverer than most elephant babies I've seen.